Drop into the mysterious kingdom of Lumeria from the Queen of Night, who has stolen the sun, moon, and stars with Child of Light. Welcome to the Steel Grizzlies channel. Today we're looking further into this elegant mystical world on if you should get this game or leave it on the side of the crusty dirt-trodden ogre path. Sometimes you find a game that is purely art and immediately inviting you to explore a world with childlike wonder. Don't be fooled by the beautiful artistic nature, as there is a melancholic beauty overlaying this game. As you play, you will see that there is overgrown foliage, neglected environments with terrifying creatures, people displaced from their homes, and some people turned into less than pleasant creatures. Behind this storybook adventure, we see the realities of life, as the story teaches us, in a simple but whimsical way, that life isn't always easy. Child of Light tells the story of Aurora, the daughter of a duke in the late 19th century Austria. The game first introduces us to Aurora through an animated prologue using the beauty of stained glass windows. Her father, following a tragic common trope of falling in love with the wrong woman after Aurora's mother mysteriously passes away. The stepmother, as you could call her. Yep, you know where this is going, and you are correct. Aurora has an inseparable relationship with her father since her mother's passing. One night, though, as she rests her head on a pillow, she does not wake up with the next day. The father, once a proud and mighty ruler, is beside himself with grief. Instead of ruling the kingdom, chooses to hide away in sorrow. This is where we begin as a player, right at the start of Aurora's fear, hopelessness, and confusion, waking up in a new land. Walking aimlessly, you find areas you cannot quite reach with your small stature. You find a new friend immediately in the firefly Igniculus. This steadfast friend floats along your side as you can use him to help explore some areas a little too far out of reach. Barefoot, weaponless, and utterly alone, you trudge your way through a mindless labyrinth of caverns. After the first real fight with your newly found overly large sword, you get a new ability to fly. With this ability, you can now float around the map, as it is now freely open for you to explore. Be careful. As you explore, there are enemies floating around, thorns pushing you away, waterfalls pulling you down from areas, and other restrictions that cause you to overall feel imprisoned. While flying in this world, you meet different characters that end up tagging along with you to help you in your quest. A ragtag jester who is in search of a lost caravan, and her brother, a rodent who just wants to be the wealthiest around. But it is really Igniculus who sticks by you throughout the endeavor. When it comes to those enemies you encounter, Aurora does not shy away. She wields her almost too heavy sword and her desire to get home as a weapon. You are set to fight alongside your friends. Though the way Child of Light does this is a bit unique compared to other RPG-style games of this nature. Instead of several teammates out at once, you have two characters and Igniculus. Igniculus can hover over the enemies with the right thumbstick, or you can incorporate a friend to play with you to control him with the mouse. Once he hovers over an enemy, it slows down their attack bar, letting your person jump ahead and sometimes stall or push back that attacker. What makes the combat interesting, besides the turn-based styling, is that you only have two attackers to use at one time. You gain additional characters throughout the gameplay, a healer, a magic attacker, stunner, or just a tank, while Aurora stays as a more damaging attacker. The issue is that if you get too damaged, you need to then swap out another character to get the healer back up on the lineup, thus using a turn, or you are left to use a health potion. It sounds like it could stop the fighting, making it not work at all. However, it melds together, as instead of resetting your person to the wait status, it puts you at the start of the cast status. This lets you quickly choose an attack if you need to, or use that previous heal. Typical fights do not really prove a challenge. No, it is when you encounter the few bosses of the game that you have to use a sort of pirouette to handle healing and attacking at the same time. I think this is why you can use Igniculus to help slow down an enemy to give you more time, as the fights are turn-based, but sometimes those enemy attack bars fill up rather quickly. Some minor issues I would say is, why incorporate a heal all or increase stat all type item if it only helps with the two characters out at the same time. If you swap out any other characters, it does not receive the same benefit from what you just did. This is a minor flaw with a pretty well thought out combat system. Combine the combat with the colorful, morose world, you have what I like to say is a game more based on beauty than say a game trying to focus on gameplay. It allows you time to enjoy each area as you try to fly around many platforming regions or find small, dark, hidden locations. Child of Light does a wonderful job of pushing you to the next location while encountering those random enemies. If you find a fight to be too hard or challenging, make sure to upgrade your people as well. There is a leveling system like a typical RPG. However, half of it is cut off till you reach a more than halfway point in the game itself. In addition to the leveling up of skills, there are oculi, which allows you to craft items that can improve your attack, shield, or armor. The oculi, I felt, is a really cool idea in theory. Why is that? Well, really it seems like it can help, but it is hard to tell when they are equipped how many crystals show at the time, and the crafting of these is very chunky. With such a beautiful, well thought out world, this seems like an addition that was thrown in right before the game's release. My major gripe, and yes, I left this till the end even though it is painfully obvious once you start the game, and that is the horrible rhyming. At first it brings you into the world as it is very simply like a child trying to rhyme each and every word. But like a child that constantly questions what you're doing or continues to use that rhyme scheme, it gets old. Very old. After an hour of gameplay, it lost its appeal for me, causing me to dread talking parts because I knew, in my soul, it would be another horribly rhymed word just because the developers thought it would be heard. Thankfully, there isn't much dialogue as you explore the world running into enemies and leveling up your teammates. This game overall is a beautiful game with tons of attention to the artwork. The combat is like RPGs of old with a small enough twist to keep it interesting. I greatly enjoyed the boss fights, the few that there were, and the game's length is very short, about 10 to 12 hours of game time. However, once the game ends, you can go back to find rewards or missing items you may have missed previously on your first run through. This is an elegantly designed and tightly constructed game which is very easy to pick up. So easy, a child could do it. This does seem to provide the organic nature of a child's story, while portraying a complex and engaging world. For being engaging, for a beautiful world, for a unique but complex battle system, it has a lot of pluses, but the minuses do drag it down for me. No general sense of direction, getting lost, exploring is fun, but can be tedious when you just want to get to the next area. Oh, and the rhyming. Well, I think I covered that, but it does make me cringe by the end of the game. Overall, I would give this game an 8 out of 10. Whatever complaints I have about Child of Light's execution cannot overcome how beautifully done this game is, and how it teaches you a lesson on the importance of those close to you by the time you finish. Thank you for tuning into my Child of Light review. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also make sure to click that subscribe button and leave the bell icon on, as this helps you know when new videos will come out and definitely helps my channel grow. I'll make sure to leave my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and Facebook information down below so you can contact me outside of YouTube. Also, another great way to help the channel out is if you'd like to get this game for yourself, please check out my link below to purchase the game. Any purchases made with that link will contribute to helping this channel out. Thank you once again. This is the Steel Grizzly signing off and hoping that you have the best of luck with all your future games.